Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal Peace Love Music with another episode of the Good Morning Show, brought to you live on DeOrganized Media in partnership with our good friends over at BitcoinLive Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Wednesday, hump day. Whoop, whoop. Let's get over the hump. It is the 22nd of January. Man, this month's flying by. So much activity, so much going on, and really excited about all the developments in our space, the crypto ecosystem, Bitcoin, stacks, and all the stuff that's going on in our everywhere. All the building, all the development, all the networking, and people getting connected. It's a great time to be here, and I'm certainly super happy to have you all here with us for the ride. If you are watching and you enjoy the show, please share it out. Get more people in here to see what we got going on. We have some great guests. I got, as always, GPSC waiting in the background. We've got Mike Jagdale from the Syndicate, Melanie Karstens, aka Good Kitty, and we have our special guest today, Noam, the advisor from both Stacking DAO and Zest. He's here to talk about Zest today, I think. Really excited to have a great conversation this morning. As always, friendly reminder, this is a news show. We are providing news and information only. We are not financial advisors. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. With that being said, Bitcoin coming in just under 105 as of a few minutes ago. 104,956 was the number. Stacks coming in at $1.46, holding on to the number 55 place by market cap on CoinMarketCap. The Fear and Greed Index has actually shot up to 66. That is still, that's actually in the greed range. So we've shot up to greed, getting greedy in the market. Interesting to see how that plays out over time. And the top three gainers on CoinMarketCap for the past 24 hours are AI16Z, WorldCoin, and Virtual. The Stacks DeFi update, Hermetica yield on USDH has hit 61%. If you're stacking your USDH, if you're not familiar, USDH is a dollar stable coin backed by Bitcoin, and you can stake it. And right now you're earning 61% yield if you stake your USDH and you receive SUSDH in its place. Automated dollar cost average purchasing is coming to Bitflow. Really awesome stuff there. Rune Mine, the mine token IDO is launching on Alex soon. Velar Perp trading is coming soon, so soon. And we are returning to Ape. The whole ecosystem is aping right now, and actually that's been picked up across the DeFi platforms. Everyone's supporting, and also the meme communities. Zest is offering 7.3% on SBTC right now. Stacking DAO is over 8.37 on liquid stake stacks, or you can receive yield in native BTC at 804 and at 8.04%. And soon you'll be able to actually receive yield at SBTC as well. Top three stacks token gainers on Velar for the past 24 hours are Meme, George's meme token, SBTC, and XRP on stacks. That's the good XRP. Friendly reminder, when you stack your stacks, when you stack your STX, you earn yield in Bitcoin. Tell your friends. The DeOrganized calendar for today, actually the stacks calendar for the day. We're working on a calendar, a community calendar on DeOrganized.media. We're still building it out, and it's actually my fault. I haven't actually gotten the organized list of what I want Trip to do with that. So it's my fault. He's just waiting to put that out there for us, and I'm slacking, so I apologize. Calendar for the day, you've got the Good Morning Stack show every day, Monday through Friday. We're here 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. PM. Good morning. 8:30 a.m. To at least 9:30. Sometimes we go in a little over, depending on what we have, and we're probably going to be adding some more segments over time as well. At 11 a.m., you have the Zest Community Hall. That is with Noam, and I believe Staxy will be joining them today. That's in the Zest Discord channel, so check them out. And then we have at 12:30 Eastern, all times are Eastern, it's the Stacks Brand Working Group. That's a bi-weekly group that meets, I believe that is a Zoom meeting. I'm just double checking on the calendar. Yep, there's a Zoom meeting there, and you can actually go to the Stacks calendar to get that link. And that's stacks.co/explore/events is where you can find it. Or if you just hover over the Explore tab at the top, events is on there. And then at 1, I believe it's still at 1 o'clock Eastern time, is the Stacks Builders office hours. That's usually with Kenny Rogers. They're teaching, going over Clarity if you need any help with Clarity. And that is also a Zoom meeting. And you can get that link again in the Stacks calendar. That is our calendar for the day. And crypto, onto the news. Crypto apps dominate Apple's US App Store finance rankings, fueled by Trump's meme coin frenzy, or just the general frenzy over crypto with the friendly administration. Crypto.com and Moonshot are actually the top 2 financial apps on Apple's App Store right now. Very interesting stuff. I think Coinbase was on there. Robinhood, which is kind of a crypto app. Ethereum core developer Eric Connor exits, citing Vitalik Buterin's leadership decisions and shifts focus on building AI tools. To be honest with you, I think he just wants to play with AI tools. I mean, who doesn't right now, right? Marathon Holdings announces a strategic Bitcoin reserve plan across all 50 states with bipartisan support and backing from corporate leaders. They're actually positioning themselves to help set up Bitcoin strategic reserves. BSR is what people are referring it to as for all the states and the federal government. It's happening. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong says it's clear we need to step our game up on Solana, scale our infrastructure, and provide native support for common use cases like DEX and meme coin trading. We got some of that stuff on Stacks too, and we finalize on Bitcoin, Brian, just to let you know. South Korea's largest crypto exchange payout in history, Upbit and BitThumb, to reimburse investors $2.4 million for losses caused by a December 2023 network outage. The U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals lifts OFAC sanctions on Tornado Cash, marking a major win for crypto privacy advocates. Billionaire investor Ray Dalio says he owns, quote, a little Bitcoin. He's been talking about crypto for a while, by the way. I bet it's more than a little, probably a little more than I have. MicroStrategy has bought a total of 14,000. I don't have a lot, by the way. Well, MicroStrategy has bought a total of 14,600 Bitcoin worth $1.4 billion just this month alone. The news would be weird if they weren't buying Bitcoin over there. UAE-based crypto firm CLS Global pleads guilty to wash trading charges for a crypto token created by the FBI, aiming to find fraud. The FBI is creating crypto honeypots. Be careful. If you can hold any one altcoin for the next 10 years, which would it be? I'm not even sure if I had to pick one, which one I would do. It's a tough decision. I'd be curious to hear what you guys say. Let us know in the comments. If Ether flows around, ETF flows around 7,850 BTC and 22,660 ETH were bought on January 21st. BTC ETF saw $802.6 million in net inflows. ETH ETF saw $74.4 million in net inflows. BlackRock's IBIT bought around 6,470 Bitcoin. It's a healthy majority of all the Bitcoin that were bought for the ETFs. $661 million that's worth. If you have not heard about what's going on over at AIBTC.dev, you have to check it out. They just launched a process for launching an AI DAO that is run by and managed by AI agents. And all you have to do is post on X at prompt to DAO, telling it the details of the DAO you want to initiate, and it does it for you. With AI agents running your AI DAO, new enhancements are being added regularly, and it creates a token. And I understand token trading is actually to go live for all of the tokens that have been created so far on these DAOs. I think it's over 100 DAOs already created in the last week. And token trading goes live on fact.fun today. Amazing stuff. Crazy stuff they're doing over there. Have you checked out fact.fun? There are several new tokens currently on the bonding curve now. Can you get to the yams? Pay your rent. Froggy, Munib, Whoppy's Happy Captain. There's a bunch of them on there, and soon to be all those DAOs as well, all those DAO tokens as well. Nuts. I'm super excited. BNS1 has announced a number of platform enhancements for user interface, listing marketplace enhancements, and more. Head on over to BNS.1 now to check it out. BNS is a Bitcoin name service. It's where you see the .btc names. There's also .stx. There's several other namespaces on there for BNS, and you register them for 5 years. You own it. It works as a shortened version of your wallet, the wallet that you designated at, and you can actually have multiple BNSs in one wallet now, which is a newer development. Gary's Gated.io is in alpha test. Gary Reiger. Gated is going to be a platform for artists and creators to launch their digital assets and control access to the content they create. Go set up your account now. It only costs 1 SDX to be early, and check it out on Friday the 25th, just a couple of days from now. Was that Friday the 24th? Oh, the 25th is Saturday. Maybe Reese is launching on Saturday. I think it's the 25th. I'll have to confirm with him. He'll have to come on and chat with us about it. But Reese is launching the second project on Gated, and that's happening this week. And it's going to be very interesting. And if you want to be early, you can head over to gated.so right now. It costs 1 stacks to set up your account. Find to Earn with Zenitron was a great hit last week. The last 2 weeks, we got tons of engagement. Tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're going to do it again. And you can find to earn and get some stacks. Are you looking to get started as a developer in Stacks? You can head over to stacks.co. And over at the top, it says Get Started to access developer tools, learn the basics, learn how to build a full app, and even ways to get paid to build an app over at stacks.co. And also, if you're interested in helping builders and devs test out their projects on Stacks, we've built a tester QA community. You can DM me at PeaceLoveMusic on X if you're interested in that. And a friendly reminder, on Fridays at 11 a.m., we have the SIP call, community innovation call. It's open to everybody. Come and join. Hero Gamer and the Stacks Foundation host the space, going over all of the SIPs, what's currently going on for SIPs, and then also any feedback on things you'd like to see develop on Stacks. It doesn't have to be an actual Stacks improvement proposal proper. You can just be chatting about what's going on there. So that is the news for the day. I'm just going to real quick say hi to our friends. By the way, real quick, if you didn't see it, because I'm going to change that soon. If you're interested in earning 61% on your USDH, your dollar stable coins, 61% on dollar stable coins backed by Bitcoin, head on over to Hermetica right there. That link is going away shortly. So if you're interested, do it now. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Anibal. What's up, my brother? How are you today? Great to hear from you. And without further ado, we're going to bring our guests on. Good morning, GP. How are you today, my brother? Good morning, Melanie. How are you?
Hi.
Noam, what's up, man? How are you today? Thank you for
Doing
joining
great.
us. And
Thanks
we have
you.
Michael. I think I like this
out.
bigger, even though I got the QR code up over here in my face. It's in my face, so I don't have to worry about it bothering anybody else.
Over it, you know? And it just
That better?
changes as the show goes.
That makes it just got a lot better looking in here. How are you guys all today?
Good.
Going.
Hey, GPSC. Hey,
Hello.
Michael. Hey, Noam.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, everybody. So those that don't know, Noam is also the advisor on X, and he actually he's handling community for both Zest and Stacking DAO. He's here today to mostly about Zest. And so if you want to get Zesty, right there, you can scan that QR code and go start taking advantage of some of the options they have on there.
Jeez.
Get Zesty.
That's how.
That's
we're
from his.
starting.
Exactly.
That's from his predecessor, actually. Off my lawn. Yeah, well, we used to talk about how I actually use orange in my hair to get my hair so zesty and shiny. That's
Zesty
although
means
I'm-
something different in
I
Canada.
cannot do that anymore.
well, oh really? What does zesty mean? I'm heading that way, brother. I'm heading that way.
I think
What
it's
does it
interesting that
mean?
we all have the same facial hair, kind of, except for Mel.
It must be. Well,
Yeah, I've got the same facial hair. I just hide it under makeup.
it's I love what's going on at Zest. I'm curious though, were you just joking, or does Zest actually have some kind of meaning?
No, let's just say they have a very large expendable income in Canada. The Zest protocols. But we'll talk about that after. It's an honor to meet you, Noam.
Yeah,
And hey,
me too.
Mel.
So what is going on at Zest?
Yeah. So first of all, just to say a few words, as you shared, I've joined Zest a couple of weeks ago, before Off Malone was there. But yeah, like Zest, as you may all know, is a lending protocol on stocks. So recently, we've enabled people to deposit as BTC, earn BTC rewards, and on Friday, if I remember correctly, I think it was Friday, we have enabled borrowing with SBTC. So now you can start, for example, let's say you want USDH, as you shared before, or you want other assets. You can use your SBTC deposits to borrow against those and borrow USDC, Arcadico tokens, or whatever you want. And just to give a bit more context on the roadmap, so we have enabled SBTC, but in the future we want to enable people to borrow also SBTC, not only use it as a collateral. And also we plan to list more assets on that you can supply or borrow in the near future.
So you can actually supply assets and earn yield that people might be borrowing on the platform, and you can also use those assets as collateral. Some of them aren't able to be used as collateral. Some of them you can, and then you can borrow assets against your collateral and then deploy that into other DeFi.
Correct. For example, I think an interesting strategy, and obviously this is not financial advice, but for those that really like, let's say, advanced DeFi strategies, for example, if you stake USDH, you can earn up to 25% yield. Now it's higher, but let's assume that when you stake USDH, you can make quite a bit of yield. But let's say that you have also some STSTX. So what you could do is deposit STSTX on Zest, borrow USDH at, I don't remember the rate right now, but I think it's around maybe 15-20%. And then you can go on Zest, on Hermetica, and stake USDH. So basically, if the borrow rate is, let's say, 15% for USDH, and then you go on Hermetica and the yield is 25%, you're basically making 10%.
Borrow rate right now on Zest for USDH is 11%.
Okay, so even better. So for example, you can borrow USDH 11%, stake it on Hermetica, which right now is, I don't remember exactly how much was it, but it's quite high.
That is probably not, it can't possibly stay as high. It's 61% today.
Okay, but it means that currently you can make 50% net APY with this strategy. So there's a lot of like this is more advanced DeFi strategies, but there's a lot of stuff like that you could do where you basically take advantage of the yield across the DeFi ecosystem, which are higher than the borrowing rate. And something also planned from Zest, we're creating step-by-step tutorial videos with these kind of strategies, because we know that it may not be easy for anyone to learn about these strategies, but imagine we're gonna have like 1-minute videos where we show step-by-step how to apply this strategy that I just described or others, so people are gonna know and learn how to, let's say, take advantage of the yield opportunities across stacks DeFi.
Super cool. I think it's actually lending and borrowing crypto is actually one of the most important things we need to have in the ecosystem in order to advance decentralized finance in general. Long term, I don't ever want to have to sell my Bitcoin. I want to actually just borrow against it eventually and then refinance as the price goes up. How the wealthy have been doing with real estate and other assets for centuries actually.
Mhm.
So it's this is giving us the capacity to do that, and it's super interesting. On top of the fact that you guys have a really interesting community too, like the people that hang out in the Discord are really a lot of Chads. The Chad Dungeon, is it still the Chad the Chad Dungeon over there?
It's a chat. Yeah, correct. Like I think I'm gonna give credit where it's due, where it's to the chat alpha chat. Sorry, but for what I think of Malone was really great at was creating community, and I feel like he created a great Discord where we don't necessarily talk only about stocks. We talk about airdrops, we talk about NFTs, we talk about meme coins. So it was really able to create this kind of environment where people join that Discord simply to have fun together. And what I'm trying to do is just build on top of that. So for example, we have a new chat called the meme coin chat, where I have one guy which is really good at meme coins trading. So from once in a while, I just share like tokens he's aping into, and people are free to decide if they want to follow the strategy or not. But it's been quite successful in the past. He found some nice, let's say, returns. It doesn't always find the right token, but when it does, it's
right.
Cool.
No, it's everything is risky in that world. So you gotta take the losses with the wins, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But and then but it's a great way to kind of cut your teeth just to observe other people doing that too. You don't have to actually engage. Yeah. You can just watch and learn.
Exactly. Like I myself, I'm not the biggest meme coin guy at all, but I understand why people like them, and I felt like giving the opportunity for others to learn from someone else, or like just to have fun watching others trade, was a good opportunity.
So, Kitty, do you have any questions have you used Zest?
Yes.
You're zesty?
I have. I'm zesty as they come.
Nice.
Well, not in that way. Stop it.
What are you talking about?
You know what? I've tried so hard to be a real DJ, but I totally suck at it. I want to do so I kind of would love to. It's another thing I really want to do on my Bitcoin and Beyond show is do DeFi for noobs and be able to ask the really the stupid questions that people are too scared to ask, because I've done it all and I've been doing it for years. I even used to trade coins all the time and put money here. I've got such a trail that I actually am too scared to start trying to extricate it, because it's kind of borrowed here, to save there, to loan there, to earn there, to farm there. It's I did all the words.
If only we had AI agents to handle this all for us.
I did all the words is my favorite. All of the words. I STX'd my SBT into USDH and made it collateral.
Those are letters, not words.
Letters?
No, we do the DeFi.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna
doing the DeFi
show
alphabet or the DeFi. Can we do it on?
Because you lost me at SBTC. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of you got me at it.
My SBTC, when I bought it, I only bought in the minimum because I didn't even know I had to buy in that much. Actually, I probably would have bought in less. But I had, my SBTC is actually in Zest. That seemed like the best option, especially when it first launched. I think it was a 12% yield.
Yeah.
And I'm happy having it there, earning some points and earning some yield at the same time.
Yeah, and by the way, you mentioned something about the AI agents. Like BitFlow is launching these BitFlow keepers, which I need to dig more into it. But apparently, it's gonna help automatize a lot of these DeFi activity or on-chain actions for the end user. And I'm really looking forward about what BitFlow is gonna do with that.
Yeah, that's BitFlow does. The aggregator was a game changer. Another thing that we needed in our ecosystem. And really, we have for a smaller ecosystem in the space, we have all of the things you might want, except for the perp decks, which Velar should have coming soon. As soon as we have, I haven't noticed any slow blocks lately, to be honest, but I'm hearing like another week to 2 to 3 maybe will have consistent fast blocks, and then they can launch their perp decks. But it's the AI BTC dev guys that have been helping them with their keepers. The BitFlow keepers was those guys. They're on everything, by the way, and I want to give them a huge shout out because I actually yesterday at one point they created on their prompt to DAO. They created a DeOrganized media DAO to support DeOrganized media, just because I had given them some love. So I cannot wait until that token. Now that token launches on Fact.Fun. I have to ape into that one. I mean, how can I not, right? It's a DAO created just to support DeOrganized media by somebody else. Thank you. Yeah. I can't believe it. But yeah, they're doing the AI stuff that's coming, man. We won't need, Kitty, you won't need to follow all of that stuff because the AI agents, you just tell them what you want it to achieve and it'll figure out the best way to do that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I have a question. Go ahead. No, sorry, Mel, go ahead.
I still feel like I want to know that stuff. I want to, I think one of the most important things though about AI, it's not really here to like take over. I think we still need to know the better we are at prompting it for our needs, I think the better it's going to serve us. So I still want to understand these things so that I can ask it questions, ask it what it needs, you know what I mean? So that I can communicate with it in a conversation and get the best out of it rather than just going like, I want to make money. How do I, you know what I'm saying?
Like if you give him a bad prompt, it's going to come back with not a great answer. The more detailed you are with your request, the better the answer will be from ChatGPT. So like I do agree that it's like people should learn how to use these agents anyways, but for sure it's going to be simpler that and maybe having to learn everything about DeFi itself.
Sorry, Michael.
I know Michael has some information on how to prompt like an Egyptian, so to speak. But I want to hear what he had some questions. I know he has some questions for Noam.
Sure.
So I'm kind of on the same page as Mel right now, which is I heard there's this thing called the US dollar, right? My friends from down south, South America, told me about it. I'm in Canada, right? So typically with this US dollars, you can either keep it in your pocket, right? Or you can take it to a bank and they'll give you, you can deposit this money at a bank, right? This US dollars. And depending on how you deposit it and the volume with which you're depositing at any given time, they will oftentimes give you back money, saying thank you for putting your money here and letting us use it for never mind purposes, right? So with that, simple Guyanese way of looking at things, in this world, we have, instead of USD, we have things like BTC, right? And is it possible for someone to deposit their Bitcoin and get yield just like they deposit US dollars to a bank and get yield?
So it's a great question. And like what Stacks has been doing is that for right now, what you can do is
Imagine
deposit
like I
your.
don't know anything about stacks as well.
Okay.
I've
Okay.
been
So
around them for a while, but sometimes I feel like I'm a beginner every day.
yeah, the issue is it's often like even when I speak with friends is how easy you want me to explain stuff because sometimes you need to abstract a lot of it.
Yes.
So let's assume that
What is
know
and what isn't?
exactly. The issue is when they ask me, okay, I understood this, but go more in depth. So if you want me to go more in depth, usually you become more technical. But let's say that stacks. Maybe let's keep some Web3, let's say terms. For example, L2s. So stacks is a blockchain built on top, let's say, of Bitcoin, and which is focused on enhancing the capabilities of Bitcoin. For example, on Bitcoin, you cannot build so much applications. It's limited to what you can do on top of it. And the idea is that stacks can enable those kind of more complex activities or applications. And what stacks has enabled recently is you can bring Bitcoin from BTC, the asset, to stacks in the form of so-called SBTC. I'm not going too much into the details on how they're doing that, but because it's gonna take some more time. But you can bring, let's say, BTC the asset.
So I have BTC,
Yeah.
right? And then I meet you being Zest Protocol, right?
Yeah.
So
Correct.
I'm gonna say, hey, I have Bitcoin. I don't know how I got it, but it's in my pocket now, and I'd like to make some yield off of
Yeah.
it. I'd like to make my Bitcoin start working for me. That's
Yeah.
the scenario. Okay, and I meet you. Keep going.
Okay, so you meet me. Probably what I will do is I'm gonna make you download a Bitcoin wallet, let's say like Ladder or Xverse, like the one you prefer. And then from there, I think it's easier actually to show it to you, know. So I'm gonna go, okay,
Please.
now you have your Bitcoin on your Ladder or Xverse wallet, and now we're gonna go to this website where I'm gonna show it to you. It's with one click, you're basically gonna bring your Bitcoin to stacks, and then I can explain you. There's this, let's say, website where there's caps on SBTC, but let's assume there aren't. Right, from your Xverse wallet, you can visit this website where you can say bring your BTC on Stacks network, and from there we can directly go on Zest. You click deposit as BTC, you confirm a transaction, and from there you're gonna make some yield on Bitcoin. Something I want to also share with you is that I still need to talk with Taiko about this, but so I don't want to say fake information, but I think something the team would like to do in the future is abstract away this whole concept of bringing BTC to stacks. So basically, you're gonna have maybe Bitcoin on Xverse. You just do deposit, and in the background, it should become as BTC automatically, and maybe you can sponsor gas fees. But this is not something that's gonna come in the near term. But the idea is how simple can you make the user experience, as you shared, because there's a lot of people that have Bitcoin. They don't want to know about stacks. Maybe they don't have the time. So ideally, you could go just Xverse wallet, Zest, Connect wallet, deposit. That's it. And in the background, we transform it to BTC. We can sponsor gas fees, etc., etc. And but this is, as I said, like something more down the roadmap. And I remember this was what I was talking with Taiko with, and still need to check what the timeline is and priority and stuff like that. But yeah, so but that's, as you shared, like one of yours is a great question, and I feel like one of the issues in crypto is that because it's still so much technical, it's not always easy to communicate to everyday people how to interact with this world. So for example, a bit less than a year ago, I went to my high school and I had the opportunity to show all the kids, including my brother, what I do as a job and what the crypto world is. And it's often easy to communicate the benefits of crypto, but when I started showing the applications like Aave, let's say for example, and wallets, people start to ask more questions, saying, "How is this possible?" And then you need to explain smart contracts. And then you say, okay, but how smart contracts works? So you become more, like you go through the rabbit hole, and it doesn't take half an hour, and it takes way more than that. And the thing, for example, the best way, this is what I said also to people in high school. I say, do you know how the internet works? Probably not. Like, I think nobody here knows exactly how routers, switches works, how the internet infrastructure is built. Nobody knows that. They just care that they have Wi-Fi, and that's it. So I feel that this is where the crypto world is going towards to, where people do not need to know about smart contracts. They do not necessarily need to know about exactly how the protocol works. They can have an app where they just maybe log in with Gmail account, they deposit BTC, and when they want to withdraw, it's done. So this is where we're moving towards, to, in my opinion. And the issues that we're still in between, where we still need to scale the network. There's a lot of technical stuff that need to get solved first to get to that point. Yeah, it was a long answer, really long answer.
No, it's good.
No, well, let me summarize up real quick. Right now, the process is you have BTC. You can have BTC. You might not have a Stacks wallet, so you need to have a Stacks wallet to interact with Zest. Stacks wallets are also Bitcoin wallets. So you have a Leather wallet or an Xverse wallet. You have your BTC in there. Right now, and I think it's starting in about a week and a half, they're going to open up the second phase of SBTC. So right now it's capped, so it's already met the cap, so you can't actually get more SBTC unless you exchange for it in the Stacks ecosystem. But eventually you'll be able, again, very soon, you'll be able to just bridge in your BTC to SBTC, bring that over to Zest Protocol, connect to Zest Protocol in your wallet, put your SBTC, lock in your SBTC, or you're basically making it available for lending. You know, you're making it available for other people to borrow it on Zest, and that's where the yield comes in. They're loaning it out to other people to use, and those people are paying they're paying an interest rate on the borrow side. So that's what's generating the yield on the BTC or the SBTC.
Yep.
But that is a slightly complicated process for not the average current user, but for the users we want to onboard. That's a little bit complicated. So they're looking to abstract away some of those steps. So eventually you'll just be able to, you have BTC in your wallet, you go to Zest, you stake it, and it becomes SBTC as part of that process, and people don't have to know how to do that or how it works.
So, question for you. I just want to clarify this. So, we have this asset. Imagine we have a general wallet, and it contains both fiat, God forbid, and and Bitcoin. I'm gonna bring that wallet to Zest and drop off the wallet essentially, and there's going to be magic yield that accrues because I've dropped off the magic wallet.
It's not so much the wallet, is that you connect your wallet, like it's like if you connect your Gmail account. Let's assume that. Like,
okay, so we have a Gmail account. Yeah.
Yes, not like if you had to compare it to traditional, let's say,
yes,
settings,
please.
like when, like imagine YouTube is the app, which is like Zest, and then you want to connect your account, which is your Gmail account, encrypt it's your wallet, and your wallet will contain, as you said, certain assets, which can be Bitcoin, can be other tokens, and then you simply deposit a certain amount of Bitcoin you want on Zest, and then it accrues yield, as you said. And the way it accrues yield is basically in the background, people borrow. I mean, when you deposit, you make that BTC available to borrowers, and when they borrow, you earn yield. But this is like more the background stuff. You don't necessarily need to know about that.
So my buddy in finance, he says that there are 4 C's to money. He's been in finance for a long time, 20 years, Casey. 4 ways. We have money as cash, money as collateral, money as capital, and money as credit. money is cash, money is collateral, money is capital, and money is credit. For the people in Web 2 finance, how do you look at this ecosystem in terms of Bitcoin or Bitcoin derivatives on stacks as either cash, collateral, capital, and credit?
So as cash, then also this I think depends from how people see it, because for example, stable coins are probably the closest thing to cash. When some people might think,
Solana now. Sorry. Go on.
yeah, but let's assume that you could also consider maybe Bitcoin, and other people might consider that as also as cash. As collateral, I will say in the moment you deposit in a lending protocol, it's exactly like becomes collateral. And then it was as capital and as credit. So as credit, like maybe other people here like have a want
Maybe
to
the
share,
more
because
money you have in your Velar, the more credit worthy you might appear to outside entities because they see
Yeah.
how much, right? You could see.
Yeah, I think like when credit, like you could argue that even points could become something like credit at this point, because especially the new, let's say, trend for this is a topic that I love, but the new trend for protocols is to collect points. Now you also have Kaito, I don't know if you have followed, but you try to give us a certain score to which you want in person to receive certain amount of rewards, which usually is money. So yeah, it's a bit maybe more general concept. And then the last option was money as
So it's money is cash, right?
credit.
Money is collateral, right? Which you talked about.
Yeah.
You bring it to the bank.
Yeah.
Or you, sorry, not you to bring it to the, I guess you make a promise where the cash is, used as a way to keep you honest, right?
Yeah.
Collateral is a way to keep you honest on big purchases that you might not pay back. I don't know. So we have cash, right? We can use it to buy stuff, which is true today
Yeah.
at Bitcoin, right? A lot of people
Yeah.
will accept Bitcoin for stuff. I think it sounds
Yeah.
like cash to me, right? Not financial advice. Or is it these days? Anyways, maybe it's bad financial advice to not talk about it at this point. Anyway, sorry. You have cash. You have collateral. Collateral is leveraging the fact that you own this asset to okay, so we have capital. I think of capital as someone accepting Bitcoin to start their startup, in its purest sense. And the credit side, cash, collateral, capital, and credit. That's the way my Web 2 kind of hedge fund friends understand the assets that they hold.
Yeah, makes. But for credit, it means like
Credit's an
more
interesting one, huh?
yeah, like
I can see you thinking about it. You just invented a new product in your head. You just don't have a name for it, I can tell.
yeah, like exactly, because it's not something that you often like. I wouldn't know what to associate with it in crypto yet.
I'm going to
It's
stop
something-
there. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's,
Well, collateral and credit are tied together. You get more
Yeah.
credit when you have collateral.
yeah,
Your credit worthiness is your history and your
See, that's what he's
reputation.
thinking about right now is no,
your
he's thinking
ability to
about
pay
that
back.
creditworthiness side. Yeah.
Probably a zero authority piece
Oh.
there.
What you're talking about is having your credit score now include your digital asset holdings. I apologize. Continue.
something
your
like
collateral-
yeah, no, but something super interesting. Because for example, in crypto, you cannot right now do under collateralized loans, no? Because if you do under collateral loans, people could steal. Like there's no proof of showing that you are, let's say, credit worthy. And so this is why you have over collateral loans only right now. I've seen some protocols where basically they issued an NFT, a dynamic NFT, where based on your DeFi activity, you receive a value between 1 and 10. Where I don't remember if maybe 1 was the best or the worst, but
So the credit score is in the NFT whose traits are related to all the holdings you might have and how
Yeah.
those are yielded out.
The DeFi activity, maybe if you repaid all your loans in the past.
So like how Mel has yielded the DeFi into the collateral capital cash, right? You could have an NFT represent the total value of all of Mel's activities as one NFT with traits.
Correct.
Got
You could say, look, if Mel deposited at least 100K on Zest, she borrowed and she repaid it multiple times, at least 10 times, etc., then her score is 2 on 10. And what happens is that then you can give better rates for borrowing, and very aim for under collateralized loans. The issue is that I can pretend to be good until I get the top score.
But that happens at the bank, right? It's like, hey Mel, thank you for being such a good customer. We'd like to extend you $50,000 more credit. Have you ever thought about blah blah blah? Yeah. Right? And they do that on the basis of her history successfully managing and custodying assets given to her.
Yeah, but if you try to steal, like the issue is that in crypto, maybe you get to the top, let's say. I mean, this project was called Versify. I'm not sure if it's still live, but if you get, let's say, to the score 1, then you could get under collateralized loans. So what happens is that people could pretend could do nice DeFi activity to pretend to be a good actor until they get the top score. They will get an under collateralized loan and then steal it, because who's gonna retrace them back? So this is the issue, is that because there's no because you don't need to do KYC, or like there's no way to prove that who you are, under collateralized loans in crypto are still not feasible. Instead, with the bank, if you try to steal, they're gonna bring
Sounds like we need a consortium of uncollateralized loans.
You need a tea that like explodes in your wallet. If you know how you get that like sticky stuff when you open a bag and
you turn the wallet upside down.
You need
a theft deterrent NFT.
Yeah. My vision is that the more we progress, the more the less anonymous people tend to become in crypto. Like for how much you want to fight it, there's going to be regulation, there's going to be deeper integration with institutions, and we're going to get to a certain point where people might not need to disclose all the info, but if you want to do certain stuff, especially if you want to take big loans, at least under collateralized loans, you need to do some sort of KYC. Like for over collateralized, no, but for under collateralized, where it's hard to prove that you're a genuine actor, then I think we're going towards a direction where it's going to exist, but because you need to go
make America an accredited investor again.
Yeah,
well, I think you're also going to have developments where you can abstract away the identification process, so nobody actually has to know who you are, but your identity.
Sorry.
Isn't that what Nilin is, where Lorne has gone to? Because they are a blind company that's supposed to be doing this. I was reading about this.
Like there's multiple protocols are working on this, but Nilin is working on privacy and on-chain privacy. So the idea is that the world's I'm going a bit technical, but it's a whole branch of crypto which is working on as you shared before, like we're working on making data and wallets anonymous, where you can prove certain stuff without showing who you are. So I think this is also an interesting use case, but people have been working on that for some time, and I haven't seen some deep integration yet with the DeFi ecosystem.
Yeah, I know. Like Tornado Cash actually just had their appeal upheld. That they
imagine.
So that's that's more. You basically what they allow you to do is mix your funds so that they can't follow the wallet. Although guys like Landy say that that's actually not as You're not actually as private as you think you are. It's
You're probably the
taken-
least private person on the planet if you're using Tornado Cash at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, we're
You're
gonna
like
look at it.
automatically flagged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
That's
Peace Love has created a wallet on Tornado.cash. Do we have Tornado Cash on Stacks?
Nope,
How dare you?
nope. Like,
Can I ask-
what?
what was that?
Why, Mel? I didn't hear. What did you say?
No, I just wanted to ask a question because you said I just quickly want to go back to something you were saying just now about before I forget about SBTC. If how can I get it? And I don't want that to sound stupid, but it probably is. But you said something about you can't get it now unless you do something.
You can't
if
peg
I
in
just-
right now
I've
because it's capped. So they
Can we use a
they
different
had
word?
1,000 BTC. It was 1,000 BTC cap.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, I
don't know
maybe
what
I
Yeah,
can
that's
explain
a bit
that in a
zesty.
simpler way. I can explain that simpler.
That's a bit right now.
Basically, they
Thanks.
said we can mint.
I think that's only you and me, Michael.
I'm in Canada, you know? The land of
Yeah,
Jordan Peterson.
yeah,
okay.
So
No.
sorry, carry on.
Like, just want to say, like, imagine basically they said we can bring on stacks only 1,000 BTC for now. So basically, we reached those 1,000 BTC for now, and we cannot add more on stacks. And in around a few weeks, we're gonna say you can bring another, let's assume 2,000 BTC. And then we're gonna say now you can bring as much as you want. So the issue is that right now we've reached the limit of 1,000, and the only way you can do it is, for example, go on Bitflow or like on a DEX and change your STX for some SBTC. But you cannot, like, this is some people that said, you know what, I'm gonna put some SBTC on Bitflow so some people can access SBTC, but it's not new one. So basically, there's 1,000 BTC in the ecosystem right now, SBTC, but there's 1,000 SBTC. You cannot have more than that right now. So this is why. What does it mean to be capped? It's capped to 1,000 because you cannot have more than 1,000 SBTC right now.
So
So I got that. I'm just curious about why would it be better to wait until you use the pagan system, whatever it is, than to just go and get it on Bitflow? Is there a difference in doing that? And also, what is peg in and peg
so
out?
peg in simply means bring BTC from Bitcoin, the blockchain, to stacks. Peg out simply means bring back the BTC from stacks to Bitcoin blockchain. So it's like in and out. And
It's a bridge. It's a bridge
Exactly.
mechanism
oh, it's the in and out nature.
Yeah.
from Bitcoin
Basically, it's
chain
that. It's
to
not
Stacks
beneath it,
chain. So
Exactly, and vice
SBTC
versa.
is bridged Bitcoin from Bitcoin main chain to Stacks.
Gotcha. So, is there a reason why someone would prefer to do it that way other than just exchange?
They
it
already
on
have
question.
Bitflow?
BTC.
No, but I feel like the reason is that, for example, first of all, great answer you just said. Like right now, because there's a limit of how much BTC you can bring in, at some point you're forced to use, for example, Bitflow and exchange it for another token. But the other thing is, for example, imagine I have a portfolio which is 90% STX and 10% Bitcoin SBTC, and I want other BTC. Maybe I don't want to buy other BTC and bring it to stacks. Maybe I just want to swap some STX that I already have for SBTC. So and maybe I don't know, maybe I have 100k STX. You say, you know what, I'm gonna just swap 10k STX to BTC, and that's it. So it depends also, like if you don't want to buy new Bitcoin, at least the DEX allows you to use other assets to get BTC.
So, what would be my best? Because I don't have any SBTs.
I think it's
What should I do?
SBTC, BTC. Isn't that right? I think it's 3
Yeah,
BTCs.
I
Yeah.
feel like you missed a few BTC there.
There's a eventually you're gonna be there's a Z in there too. If your SBTC is on Zest, by the way, you end up with Z SBTC in your wallet.
Look, I'm
This
still
becomes-
recovering from the pegging, so sorry if I'm catching up.
I'm doing so much pegging.
Yeah,
I don't know
who
what
made
I'm
this
saying.
MIT Media Lab?
I'm saying,
Well, it's called a peg because it's a 1-to-1
Because
peg. So you
I'm
get
trying
you
to
put in one
fuck
BTC,
back
you
the
get
financial
one
system.
SBTC. Not
We've been
like
pegged by
Canadian-
finance for too long. We're
more
pegging.
Canadian slang. No. So
It's one way
here's
to look
Okay.
at the recovery. I like it.
if you haven't bridged in BTC and you want to, in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to bridge in BTC and mint SBTC. So your BTC goes into a wallet that gets held there and creates SBTC. When you want to take it out and make it BTC again, that SBTC gets burned and the BTC gets released to your wallet. So there's always a 1-to-1 ratio that the Bitcoin that goes in creates SBTC. There's never going to be more SBTC than the BTC held in the
Oh.
SBTC, the peg-in wallet.
So I can bring my Bitcoin into Chuck E. Cheese. You give me stacks Chuck E. Cheese coins, and I can roll balls up a hill and get the 50-point prize, and then cash out my winnings. Because it looks like SBTC is a Chuck E. Cheese in the sky, no? Where I bring my
SBTC is Bitcoin on DeFi on stacks, with fast blocks and DeFi deployable into DeFi.
I like this. We're gonna create a diagram after this show. Well, it's
There's a
probably
few-
GPSC will. This is good.
There's a few, like if you read Stacks docs, there's a few nice charts. Maybe it was the deck. I can share it with you later. The call. They have a deck where they explain exactly with some graphics how SBTC works, and I think I also wrote a few threads back then with some graphics, which I feel like visual learning is usually the best way to understand certain complex topics, especially in crypto where there's a lot of back and forth, bridging, DeFi, whatever you want. So like
Yeah, the pegging diagrams are gonna be amazing. Go ahead, Mel.
I think I've got it up. It's very easy for you to understand that you have to, one has to equal out the other one at all times. So it's like a seesaw. Either one is up. So it's just, to me, I see that very clearly. You can't have 100 SBC TCCs and only 90 BTC.
yeah,
So I understand that part. What I don't still understand is how I get my SBTC.
so maybe there's you're sharing right now. I'm gonna answer you, Mel, 1 second. Maybe exactly. Here is where you can deposit BTC to get this BTC, but it's not active. It's not active right now because we have reached the limit.
Right. Now, do I send that BTC from an exchange to here or from another wallet to there?
Sorry, I didn't answer the question. If you want to,
Where do I send that BTC from?
so the bit.
Is that already in my wallet? Is that in my leather
So
wallet?
it needs to be
already?
on your Ledger wallet. So if you buy it from an exchange, you need to send BTC to your Ledger or Xverse wallet, and then you can do that on the website. Yeah, correct. And maybe you want also to show from BitFlow how you can swap STX for BTC, maybe.
Pardon, I was reading Jamie's
No,
comments.
maybe-
Sorry.
No, sorry. I'm gonna
It was just
talk.
it was just a limit of 1,000 BTC originally that could be bridged in. Also called pegging, to make Michael smile.
Now I'm
So-
coming down off of it now. Mhm.
It took
Give me
about
smoke.
I think it took about 2.5 days.
Give me a
That's enough.
cigarette.
It's enough with the pegging. It took about 2.5 days to reach the supply. So there was a lot of promotion leading up to it. there was a little bit of a confusion as to, like, there was less communication on some of the details. So I didn't know until I went to try that you had to have a minimum 0.01 Bitcoin to bridge in. And then I didn't know that there was a 5% yield bonus on the first pegging and the first bridging in until after it launched. It filled up very quickly because there was a lot of people interested in getting in and trying it out.
There was a pegging orgy where multiple people brought in their
It was, you would have been so excited, man. It was like
I
days of
missed
pegging.
this.
But
Don't you
only
know I'm
pegging
Canadian?
in. It was no pegging out. It was just pegging in. So
You need pegging protection. Is there pegging protection?
So if you have Bitcoin, if you have
I
Bitcoin
don't
in
want to
your
get
wallet
anything
right
dirty
now,
on my BTC.
you cannot bridge your Bitcoin into stacks until they open up the next wave of allocation, so that you can they open it back up and you can mint more SBTC. So in the meantime, if you want to get SBTC, you have to buy it on one of the exchanges. Off the top of my head, one thing you could probably do is use Alex's ABTC, bridge your BTC into ABTC, and then swap that for SBTC. Or you can, if you have USDH and you don't want to collect 61% interest on your USDH, you can actually go over to Velar and trade that for SBTC or Bitflow or Alex.
Okay, let me make it easy. I've got $1,000
cash.
That's just, it's USDC and it's just sitting on Binance. It's been lying there I just sort of keep money there for when I just want to do something else. I want to. It's like
you want to use Allbridge to bridge in your USDC into stacks, and then you have USDC on stacks or AEUSDC or whatever, and then you can trade that for SBTC.
I feel like a simpler option would be like selling your USDC for STX on Binance, then bridge it to
STX.
Bridge to the STX to your wallet, Ledger or Xsource, you want.
Transfer, yeah.
And then you can go to Alex, Bitflow, Velar, and just swap for SBTC.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna take my $1,000. I'm going to
buy STX.
STX. I'm gonna send my STX to my Ledger wallet. Then I'm gonna go on to Velar. And I'm going to trade my STX for SBTC.
Correct. And that is done.
Then I've got my SBTC, and then I go to Zest. What is the step of my trail? And there I provide it as collateral for someone else to get credit.
To get, you get your accrue yield, so rewards over time. Rewards, actually, SBTC over time. And something I want to specify is that we haven't enabled yet SBTC borrowing. The rewards right now come from the 5% reward mechanism from stacks. And there is like one-time event where we're boosting a bit the yield right now. But as soon as we're going to enable borrowing of SBTC, then that yield is going to generate, let's say, more from, let's say, the borrowing activity. But what you can do is borrow other assets with SBTC right now. So you can borrow STX with SBTC if you want. And just wanted to give more clarity.
Now, I've never borrowed any money because there's something called self-repaying loans that I've heard about, which obviously are not exactly like sitting there paying themselves back. But I've always been scared. That's the one thing I haven't tested out in all the worlds of DeFi.
I can explain you how you need to check, because it depends from protocol to protocol. But for example, it's an Orcadico on that does that. But generally speaking, the way it works is that what they will do is you're gonna put some collateral. For example, let's do on stocks. You deposit STX to mint USDA, which is our Cadico stablecoin. So it's but so you're gonna to mint, let's say USDA, you pay up borrow, let's say, I don't know, 5% a year as a fee to mint. What happens is that the STX you've deposited, we're actually using the background for staking, and staking make maybe 10% a year as a APY. So basically, like you deposit STX, you mint the USDA, you need to pay 5% a year, but because your STX are stacked and you make 10% a year, basically every year you're paying 5% by itself. So basically it's saying separate bank loans. You can do something similar or basically say, okay, you deposit, you mint USDA, you deposit STX, you provide STX on Zest, maybe you make 10% a year on Zest, and then because of that yield you can repay the fee you're paying for borrowing. But you need to check protocol by protocol because self-repaying loans are cool stuff, but you need to be sure that the way generate yield to pay back the loan, it should be safe. This is a bit more complex, but basically what Arcadico does is just leverages staking of your assets to pay the fee of minting USDA, let's say.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't heard from the homie. GP, I know you're not feeling well today, but you got anything for us on Zest?
Dude, there's so much snow outside. I feel like I'm definitely gonna lose my voice. I thought about this. So what am I gonna do whenever Vegas, and that's an option. I can borrow against my STX to get to Vegas and get my Bitcoin conference tickets and stuff like that. So
Nice.
I've definitely thought about using Zest for stuff like this. I'm not selling my assets, right? And I can get access to some capital and pay for these things, right?
That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
that's
right?
the route that
having Bitcoin as collateral that would allow you to get a plane ticket.
How does that work?
I
If
think
you can't-
he just invented it. I think
Yeah.
he's gonna implement it after this call, right?
There's someone that actually did something similar, buying himself like a motorcycle. So he deposited STX, and then he took I think a USDC loan, something like that. It went on Binance, Binance whatever, an exchange. He cashed out that USDC amount and he bought himself a motorcycle, but same use case. So basically you can use SPTC, borrow some USDC, and with that you buy yourself a nice plane ticket for Las Vegas, or that's a joke, or if you want to bet a bit, you know where the money can come from.
What happens in Vegas, huh? Jeez.
That might be. Be careful about collateralizing.
Look, if it's anything
You're
we know,
good time.
both sides of the aisle have engaged in pegging, right?
So guys, I need to go in 2 minutes because I have another call.
This is it. Great.
This was great, by the way.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Entertaining
Thanks
our
to
new
you. I had
questions.
I had really fun here. And
Just so everyone knows, we did coordinate with our Scrooge
Yeah.
McDucks. Noam has
Aw.
Scrooge on his wall, and I rock him on my shirt from time to time.
Nice.
That's
Oh, is that
so
because you
cool.
dive into the STX, right? Like,
Yeah. I think that's one too many.
We can
ST.
stop.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, like the names of the tokens in crypto, they become complex quite fast. Let's say. Yeah.
So funny, true story. My name is Steven, and my middle name is Thomas. So my initials are STP. So I am actually a perfect
Stunt couple
representative.
pilots.
I got ST in my first name, and my initials are ST. and standard temperature and pressure. You know, for so I'm a perfect representative for ST anything.
Yeah.
You should change your surname to
ST Perino.
to what?
ST Perino.
As long as it's not ST
Yeah,
Doge, you're fine.
No.
Because then you'd really be STX if your surname began with an X.
Maybe I'll just
He's
change it
kind
to
of the
ST
Professor X
Perino.
of the community here, right? Wouldn't you say?
Oh, then you could be
Yeah.
Professor X
No,
as
no.
well.
And GPSC could be Magneto.
Hero's Professor X.
Thank you for entertaining our questions. I believe
Thank
that
you.
there are a lot of people in the audience that when we have this broken down, right? Because if we have these questions, we're not the only ones,
Yeah, for sure.
right? And I
Yeah.
feel like actually a lot of people with the most amount of capital are actually looking to get answers like this. I am used to working in a USD world where I take my USD to an institution and they turn it into collateral capital and credit.
Yeah.
How does that work in this world? And how might I begin the process of making mistakes with small amounts of money?
I think you nailed it. Like, I personally know some friends of my father, which are like 55, 60 years old. Some of them are rich, like, and they made businesses and are quite rich, and they're interested in crypto. They might also believe in it, but after, like, as long as you go beyond buying tokens, for them is like too complex. So helping them throughout this journey, I think, is really, really important. I think this is as important for the younger generation.
This
like
is
my
the last
brother.
job to do in crypto, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
To
I
make
would
this understandable.
I think yes. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, we need to abstract away a lot of the complexities, anyways, because I feel like they don't need to know all about crypto. So this is the first step on our side, because if you make it simple with like just connect wallet, deposit, then anyone can do that. But yeah, I think the last gap is simply making super available. You want to say something?
I will say this. Maybe the way you make it accessible is turn the interface into a voice interface, and the STX SBTC stuff happens with the agent. That's probably what's going to happen, huh?
Like, I think I saw this application, which in my opinion was super simple that anyone could use. Is basically you buy with your credit card USDC, but you don't even know that's USDC. They're gonna put like USD in the background USDC, and you earn like a 5% yield. And the 5% was actually coming from Aave, which is like Zest on Ethereum ecosystem. So basically, the user doesn't need to connect a wallet, doesn't need to know about Aave, doesn't need to know about USDC, but is making more than any bank could actually offer him.
Just like if you give money to a hedge fund, you don't necessarily know the holdings in the portfolio. You just trust the guy on the stage right now.
Yeah, exactly. The issue is when you say crypto, people say, no, I don't trust that. But we need to, like, when people are going to start trusting crypto, then you can just say, look, your deposit account with crypto. So people can just buy or deposit with a wire fund USD. In the background, USDC. They use Aave, they use units of whatever you want, and they generate yield like that. The issue is that now, most of the time, it's yourself that need to do all these kind of actions where you need to buy USDC, bring it to the wallet, deposit to Aave. So, like, if you can put all these three steps,
It's helping
abstract that
people
way.
have the first sip, not the first swallow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I started with just buying and holding. Like, the more you like the ecosystem, the more you're going to play in it. And yeah, sorry guys, I really need to let you go because I have another call.
No, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. And I'm the worst at actually having hard stop times. I'll just let the
And I'm the worst
conversation
at
go.
not asking questions that are on my mind, so thank you.
But no, it's been great. We'll have to have you on again whenever
Sure.
you guys have some new news. Always a pleasure, Noam. Thank you so much, guys. Noam has the Zest Hall call on the Zest Discord channel at 11 a.m. today, right? That's
Correct.
today. 11
Correct,
a.m.
today.
Eastern today. So tune in for that. Kitty's got her show tomorrow, Beyond Bitcoin and Beyond, with Dan Trevino's coming on to talk about Boom Wallet. Super excited.
Nice.
I haven't talked to Dan in a minute about that. We got Lior coming on to talk about Stacking DAO tomorrow.
Nice.
So we got a great show. And we'll also have the Find to Earn episode with Zenatron at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the ecosystem. And did you guys have anything else you needed to shout out before we wrap? Michael, yeah.
Can I shout out a new Twitter space starting next week? I am pivoting from just focusing on art. So art on Stacks no longer exists. Well, it hasn't actually existed for a while, but anyway, let's not go there. So we are now going to be doing the weekly stack.
Weekly stack.
And
it's just a general
stack.
community call, get together, talk about what's going on Stacks.
And like kind of highlights from the ecosystem during the week. I really want to talk to people like Noam, where I can ask these questions that even somebody like me, who's been doing this stuff for nearly 5 years, still struggling with. Does that mean?
No.
I think that's something pegging. I don't know. What are you laughing at?
Yeah.
I don't.
Right.
Kidding.
Yes.
That's
All
the
right,
sound of finance.
So, we'll do more promo for your show tomorrow too. But noon on Tuesday. Tomorrow it's noon Eastern for your show as well. Noam, thank you so much for coming on. Michael, GP, love you guys. Mel, always a pleasure every Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for coming out today. I am PeaceLoveMusic. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on BitcoinLive Decentralized, broadcasting every Monday through Friday, bringing you all the latest updates on what's going on in Bitcoin and the broader crypto ecosystem. And we love our Stacks family. Shout out to the Bitcoin Pepe crew right there. If you didn't notice, rocking it on my mic now. Thank you guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.